Kurt, you just got done flying this little Cox Extra 300. Tell us about your experience.
Well, it's a 3D aerobat. Doesn't really say anything about the difficulty on the box at all, and you know, it was a good experience. It landed well under power, didn't glide, and really that's something I've gotten spoiled on over the years. Is you know, these 3D aerobats, you bring them in, and you just come into a steep dive and you go right into your stall and your flare, and you're down. It's just fun.
Float down,
they come in and they slow down so nicely, but you maintain control and authority. This tended to kind of die out a little bit faster than what I anticipated, so I had to keep power on to bring it in. I always bring the power on so I could keep the nose up, but you know what I mean, a little more power than what I expected.
This is more of a hairy landing, wasn't it? I mean,
it was more of an intentional landing, you know. So that was really the only surprise. But really, I think the 5x5 review will kind of shake out all of the strengths and weaknesses of the Extra.
Well, let's get into that then. Build as advertised. You have it as a 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5, man. It was. We went through and timed it even. It was great. Went together, snapped together nice. Everything lined up, and no issues there at all.
Finish 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. It's on par with, and it actually has some really nice color to it. You know, the purple and the blue and the gray. It's a nice vibrant plane, and with that said, nice and easy to see in the air, which is always a plus. As you get up there, this thing gets a pretty small profile when it's coming at you. So
power 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. It had good power. I would say very close to 1-to-1 thrust to weight. Well, it was less than 1-to-1 thrust to weight, but it felt like it. You were able to come up out of a little bit of a climb, a pretty steep angle. We're talking about 50, 60 degree climb out from straight and level flight, and then play with it a little bit. You could do some things with you know, on the prop like that. So it had pretty good thrust, and I'd say 4 to 5 is pretty fair. It's not going to take off out of your hands, and you're not going to sit there and do.
You didn't look like you were laboring through any of the maneuvers.
Not at all. It has plenty of power to go through and do nice, lazy outside rolls and stuff. So.
All right, ground handling 4 out of 5.
Yeah, it really wasn't bad. Steerable tail wheel helps a lot. Landing gear's nice and springy. So this is again with we talked about this with its brother product or child or sibling product rather, the Cox Skyranger. It's more of an intentional takeoff. You don't want to sit there and just kind of I'm going to drive it down the runway for 5 minutes and then take off, or really get a good rollout. And it has the power. Get it rolling, get it straight, and hit up elevator and get it off the ground. So. But yeah, had plenty of control or authority on the ground.
Okay, durability 5 out of 5.
Tough as nails. It has a Flight Flex foam, which we know is extremely forgiving and durable. And then it also has the nice springy landing gear. So yeah, very very durable.
All right. As far as the pilot experience, flight as advertised, you've got it as a 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. Now when I first took this off, I always take a new plane off on high rates, and I'm Mr. Cocky with myself. Oh, give me high rates, because I want all the capability to get out of trouble. This one kind of had a little different story for me when I first took it off.
How many planes have we put in garbage bags for you?
Not that many, and usually it was some sort of major hardware malfunction.
Just wondering.
I usually take off at high rates though, and we've been doing that for a long time. It's like I like the ability to, and I'm pretty smooth at the center lines of my thumbs. This caught me off guard. Now, not at the fault of the transmitter either. The transmitter's nice and smooth. It was just the fact that it responds extremely well to aileron inputs, and it also drops like a rock. As soon as you get off, you start to roll off center, it's going to slip. It's going to slip fast and hard on you. So you either got to be Johnny on the spot with your rudder, or you got to knock those rates down a little bit so it doesn't quite catch you off guard. But once I got it up in the air and I got it on low rates and I started flying around, I started flying more pattern and just started going through the basic maneuvers, your loops, your rolls, your inverted flight. And you do the stuff that you think people are probably going to try with this when they first get it up. You don't want to go crazy with it. It handled it well. It handled all the standard maneuvers extremely well. So it's just that slip always caught me off guard. As soon as I got up, it dropped quick.
Yeah, it looks quick on film too. It just looks snappy and jerky, and not jerky like uncontrollable. Just everything. It's like watching a larger aerobatic plane with the film sped
You could
up.
pop out of a roll and stop right where you started and continue on. So it was nice. It had a good feel to it.
Flight time 4 out of 5.
It was fine. It was acceptable on the flight time. It wasn't like, wow, this thing's going for 2 days, but it wasn't. It's already over. So
a lot of times flight time has a lot to do with how the plane handles, as far as whether you would want more or less flight time.
Yeah.
You know, when you're flying something like this, you got your
5 minutes can feel like forever.
Exactly.
5 minutes can feel like in a minute. So what you're going to want to do, probably with this airframe, and most people will, is they're going to want to try maneuvers. They're going to try and try aerobatics. And you're right, that definitely condenses the time quite a bit. It or rather expands the actual time. To where you think, wow, I've been flying for a while. But I was into the throttle pretty heavy through the entire flight. So with that said, we got 5 minutes plus out of it, which is, for a micro with a tiny little battery and everything, that was good.
Yeah, I was impressed. I think it did pretty good. Field size, we got small park.
This is definitely an outdoor flyer. Yeah. Even at our gymnasium, it was too dry. It sunk way too much on the turns for us to fly it inside the gym comfortably. And the landings are a little hotter. So
yeah, I agree. Portability, 5 out of 5.
Yeah, it's right in line with the other Cox, the Sky Ranger, as far as durability goes. It's our portability, very portable.
Skill level, intermediate.
Intermediate, yeah. This is not a beginner plane.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's a handful for a beginner to get up in the air. They're going to be crashing. They're going to be cartwheels that they're going to be doing.
Yeah,
and you don't want to do that. Even though it's tough, it's going to handle it really, really well. So if you're kind of like, throw caution to the wind, it's pretty affordable. I'm just going to go out and fly it. It'll handle several of those cartwheels, I think.
Yeah.
But you're going to get frustrated with it more than anything, because you're going to think it just handles like crap. But it doesn't really. It's meant to be a 3D aerobat type airplane.
Sure.
It's an aerobatic design. So if you're into the point where you can handle compensating for a lot of slip on your banks with the up elevator and a little bit of rudder, if you're at the point where you're using all 4 channels and you're flying with your rudder, you'll do fine with it.
Cool.
So.
All right. Well, take us home, Johnny.
All right. That wraps up our review of the Extra 300. You can take a look at our website at tobefly.com and look for more information, more details, any build notes that may apply. And in this case, really, there's no notes. Even though I did it, I just, I don't think there's any notes required. If I can pull it off,
you didn't. Yeah, if you could do that without screwing, if you can build it without screwing it up, there's no notes.
I think the trick is learn
how
to use
the note is Kurt didn't screw it up.
I didn't. It flew. It assembled fine. If you have any questions that remain unanswered, you can click on the icon in the lower left corner of any of our web pages that says Ask To, and it'll send us an email, and we'll get back to you as soon as we possibly can. I'm Kurt with Two Brothers Hobby.
And I'm Rob. Thanks for watching.
All right, give me a loop. Give me some spins or aileron rolls.